Hello, everybody. How y'all doing? Thank you for being here, everyone. Gosh, I appreciate y'all so much. Hope floats. Hello, sweetheart. Hi, Lisa. Long cool woman. She gonna join us in a little bit. Hi, Mary. How are you? And Maria. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Hey, Miss Janice. Hey, Rhonda. Hi, Cher. Good gosh, is that not the truth, Cher? I kept asking, is he answering any questions? Because I wasn't understanding none of it. Hello, TJ. How are you? Hey, Miss Rhonda and Peggy. Hey, Jilly. Brown Eyed Girls. How are you? Well, thank y'all all for being here today. I really appreciate y'all. Oh, I tell you. Okay. Yeah. Maybe Miss Kathy will show up. If not, we'll forgive her. We will. Blue Eyes, how are you and Logan doing? Y'all behave. Hello, Nani. How are you? Smiling Sleuth. Hello there. Hi, Kisa. Lisa. That's a tongue twister there, Kisa Lisa. The Path. How are you? Oh, good golly. Oh, it's cold and blustery. Whew. Yes, he was talking in circles, y'all. Ugh. Yes, Norma. I watched The Mob. How awesome was that? We'll talk about that a little bit here in just a second. Hey, Bo, how are you doing today? I hope everybody's staying warm. Y'all, I'm not joking. Last time we had snow in Texas, it stopped like the county above us. This time, it was two cities below us. We had sleet with the little snow flurries, but that was it. So, yeah, it's like we got an umbrella over us or something here. The kiddos were very disappointed this morning. Oh, it was so sad. But yeah, the Gulf Coast, Galveston Island is about 2 hours from us, and they got a ton of snow. For the Gulf, they had a lot of snow. And we're north of them and got sleet. But it's cold still. It is still cold out there, and the wind's blowing. It makes it worse. Oh, 9 degrees. Oh my goodness. I don't know. Oh, that's cold. That is cold. We've had minus 19. Rhonda, you stay warm. Hey, whispering winds and chit chat. How are y'all doing? Thanks for coming in and being with us. The Gulf of Mexico has snow all over it. It's crazy. They were showing people in Houston that had gone to it's like an amphitheater outside place, and they were sledding down the hills. Oh, for the second time, Nani. Oh, good for y'all. Yay. Hi, Tony and Kelly. Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Jilly, how do you survive? Y'all know what's been on my mind? What if it was not KP, but SC and CP? Very well could have been. Supposed to get zero. Oh my goodness. You hadn't been grocery shopping. Yeah, I bet. I wouldn't either. I wouldn't leave my house. Hey, Linda. How are you? Oh my goodness. 10 inches of snow? How fun. I would love it, but I wouldn't want it to stay long. Oh, yeah. I had to rephrase it. You're good. Oh, goodness. Goodness, goodness. And here's TJ. She's outside with a hoodie and snow boots on. Sounds like my son. He was out there this morning, all that ice and everything, and he was in his shorts. Had a light jacket on, nothing big. I was like, good golly. Oh, there's a lot of sneaky people, Norma. There's a lot of sneaky people in this case. I know, right, Bo? My grandbabies, she was so excited. The little one last night was up here and we were playing Uno on her little bitty tiny cards. And got a secret. How you doing? Starting to get cabin fever. Well, the little one was up here and we was playing Uno, and then it's bedtime, so she went down. She stopped at the door and she says, Lolly, I'll wake you up when the snow starts. And I'm like, okay. She was going to stay up all night and just watch out her window. I went down about an hour later, went to tell her good night, and she was already asleep. Could be Clue or Cletus with CP. Who knows at this point? Guys, this whole case is insane crazy. Insane crazy. Hey, Pink Warrior, how are you? I hope you're well. Y'all don't have much snow. Sebastian has had no chance whatsoever. I agree with you completely. Did most of y'all watch the Lore Lodge last night? Aiden and SF Shillfisher. I'm sure most of you did. Oh, goodness. Minus 50. Oh, Lord. Yes. Seth will be interviewing with Nancy Grace this Friday. I don't know if it'll be aired that day, so we'll have to keep a check on that. Yeah, y'all got missed from the cold temperatures, huh? It's crazy that Galveston got snow. That just blows my mind. Yes, Brown girls. Oh my gosh, I had such a headache last night. I was just like, what am I doing? I'm wasting my time. It was ridiculous. So, yeah. And there were 3 key points that I took away from that last night, and I was going to go back and screenshot it all this morning, but hindsight 2002. She clipped exactly what I was wanting to do, so we're going to give her credit, and we're going to play her clips that she put out because they were exactly the ones that stood out to me the most. No snow. Oh, goodness. Thank you all for being here, though. I really appreciate everybody. I really, really do. Oh, gosh, yes, Brown Eyed Girls. He said no cameras when Sebastian was there, but now there is. Y'all, this is out of control, stupid. Out of control, stupid. We're going to watch these clips. And then there was a little bit of rumbling over on Twitter. And I got some of those screenshots, and we're going to read over those because out of control, crazy. And of course, we over here, the green team, are the ones that were putting out threats against SF last night in chat. You know, there's a divide in this case. That is so obvious. But when people are putting green hearts, one of my subscribers sent me a message and said they got timed out because they would put several green hearts in chat. That's all, just green hearts. I saw them. Green hearts. And then they would get timed out. Come back in, put a few more green hearts out there. Got timed out several times for just putting green hearts. I never saw any threats towards SF. I did see people questioning him, and yeah, they considered it the emojis as spam. But see, that just goes to show you that their side do not use green hearts. They don't show love for Sebastian like that. I'm too honest. How are you doing? It was a whole pile of BS. Hi, Bonnie. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate you. And Angela. Hey, Prickly Pear. Yeah, we're going to watch just a couple of little clips. There's 3 of them that Hindsight did for us. And I was so proud because it was exactly the things that stood out to me the most. Yes, people were calling him out for his lies. Nobody threatened him. No one threatened his life. There was Reality Wins. I think she said she put Sebastian Strong and she got timed out several times. I saw lots of hate towards Bullhorn Betty. Oh my gosh, the things they were saying were horrible about her. Justin got bad things said about him. And Brittany J, oh my gosh, they wouldn't leave her alone either. So what does that have to do with finding Sebastian to attack those people in a chat where we're trying to make sure the information that we have, we're going by, and what they have and they're going by can somehow kind of mesh together to become one unit? That's what it was all about, to see if all of this can be put out there. How come they feel the way they do? Why we feel the way we do? But chat was not going to let it happen. Hey, Diana. Hi, Diane. Hi, Tracy. How are y'all? Passion Flower. If I missed somebody, I'm sorry. So, yeah, it was a little insane. A little insane. And I just don't understand why a person can't put green hearts that shows support for Sebastian. Exactly. Anyone doing anything to bring this boy home gets kicked in the teeth. Yeah, and we know who. Yes, we do. And we're fixing to go over something and listen to a few things. Hey, Tina girl, how are you? So, okay, let's listen to the first clip that she put out, okay? And we'll talk about it when we're through. Hang tight. Let me get this. Okay, here we go.
When you say that you had spoken to law enforcement and just had some people reach out to you, were these Sumner County? Were these Nashville, TBI?
It was people that were involved in the search and rescue, and they just had it was somebody that had a question about why some of my grids were going, and it just had to do with more of a search theory based on lost person behavior. So it was not. I'll tell you, it was not one of the detectives. It was not any of the agents involved. It was just somebody involved in the search and rescue efforts, which they're an extension of law enforcement.
All right. So, well, when you say, was this one of like, there's, there will be, like, trying to think of an exact example, but you've got organizations like United Cajun Navy, for example, that come in and they get involved. They might be tested by law enforcement, but they're not actually a law enforcement organization. Were the people you were talking to, were they like such and such county search and rescue?
Yeah, they were with the official search and rescue. No, United Cajun Navy, just to be clear, I have nothing to do with.
Oh, I know you don't have anything. I was just trying to go for an example of like a private organization versus somebody.
Yeah, and I don't want to, I don't want to build too much on that one because there's not much to it besides there was people like reaching out, I think, to various experts. I mean, there's other large search and rescue operators around the country that have commented on this case on Twitter and stuff like that, and I think they interact with those people. When it gets to be, there was a lot of teams involved in this. I mean, and when it gets to be that big of an effort, and there's just nothing, like literally nothing to show for it, it's you start reaching out to other teams because all of our those models that we make, we build them on lost person behavior models. Those are all made from these algorithms through that. It's a program that went through Department of Justice, just like NICMIC is the division of that are based on all the old search and rescue, all the old missions going back as far as you can go, put into these databases, all these variables. And now we have the ability to go in and key in, hey, we have a 15-year-old with autism. He's in this environment and this temperature. This is this mental mindset. It'll give us these unbelievably accurate models, and it'll show that it'll give us 25, 50, and 75% probability lines, of probability of detection and what those are. And in his case, I think it was 75% probability of detection within 3.6 miles, and it gives you how long the like what the most likely scenario to find them in is, and that's something I tweeted the whole tactical report on that too. It wasn't like anything secretive or anything.
Gotcha. All right, so that's all very helpful to know and understand. I just want to, there's, like I said, there's been a lot of people claiming that you haven't even talked to law enforcement, or that these people don't know who you are, and then I see that and I'm like, all right, well, who knows what here,
So let me be clear on that. So although I have a very good working relationship with TBI in my other cases, and in this case, I'm not trying. So when I came into this case, I wish I knew the exact date. It's only been what, 3 months, 4 months. This case was law enforcement wanted nothing to do with anybody in this case. Right. You know what I mean? It was burned to the ground. They were like, we don't want any part of what's going on online. They're shut down, and I don't try to communicate with them. I don't. So no. Am I working side by side with law enforcement in this case? No, and I'm not trying to either. I don't reach out to them. They don't reach out to me. They know. They 100% know I'm there. We gave them formal indication, and they responded back, and they said he's welcome on the case, and that was it. So, but we have not tried to. I'm not trying to work like I do in some cases, and that goes case by case. It just depends, the flow of the case. But in this case, there's no reason for me to, because it's too divided. If they worked with me, they know that Seth's people would just turn it into a whole PR stunt, and say, well, you're not working with us. And so to avoid that and not give them any drama, I don't need, we're just doing my own investigation. Gotcha. So I don't want to give the impression that I'm saying I'm working with law enforcement on this. I'm not.
Got it. That's that.
Well, how do we like that?
It's been quite.
Sorry about that. Okay, so yeah. This man clearly states, no, not working with law enforcement. But it took all that mumbo jumbo, all the rumbles, the word salad. What else can you call it? He was asked a direct question. And like Chris Proudfoot, you have to go into all these details, explain all this stuff. You know, does the man stutter? I don't know. I don't know him. He may have a stuttering type of issue going on, but still it's easy to answer a question. Yes or no. And it took all of that to get the answer. No. Not working with TBI. Not working with law enforcement. Nothing. Now, law enforcement of any kind is very, very careful with the information that they will give to a private investigator. And I talked to my son about this because he was a local police officer. He was a state trooper. And when I asked him about it, he looked at me funny. He said, no, they're not going to tell him a PI anything. Because the PI is being paid by a potential suspect. And that is his number one thing, is those people that he's being paid by. He is not there for the integrity of the case at all. He's there for the people who bankroll him. So let's listen to the second one and we'll get going on that one. Let's see. All righty, here we go. Hang tight. We got to get over here. I hit the wrong one. Okay, here we go. Hold on, guys. I got it all messed up. Okay, and hello to everybody that's just coming in. I appreciate y'all being here. I really, really do. Okay, let's go here. Listen to some more. Here we go.
Like it was completely by chance, but that like
Right.
you weren't looking to get involved in this
Right.
case.
Right.
But so then you did, and you said you had some conversations with Chris Proudfoot, and then that you ended up going and sitting down with him. At what point, though, did this become an official working relationship? And what I mean by that is, I guess there would be two stages to that. There's, you're actually actively communicating with him and saying, hey, I'm helping you out, versus, he's paying you or somebody is paying you. Like
Right.
when.
Okay, pay real close attention to what he says and his answer as to when he is officially being paid.
When did that switch happen?
Let me just pull up the retainer agreement so I can tell you exactly.
Yeah, I guess the question would be when were you officially hired?
Yeah, I'm trying to find
Yeah.
it, so I can give you the exact answer. I'm trying to find the retainer agreement. It's I don't know. It'll take me 1 second here. Oh, Sebastian. It was. Oh, here we go. Okay. It's 11/14 of 24.
Okay, so it was November of last year.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So that's the official date.
Couple months.
So who was paying you or is paying you?
Well, I don't want to disclose that, but I'm retained. I'll tell you that Chris and Katie are the signers on the engagement letter, and
So he doesn't want to tell who is the one who is paying the bill. But he's going to tell us Chris and Katie are the ones on the engagement letter. So pretty much we can all assume, and probably be, I'd say 98% correct, that mommy is paying a retainer. Mommy is paying the PI. Mommy sucks.
Retainer agreement, and but it's on behalf of. I'm working on behalf of Sebastian. I am not. My client is Sebastian, and they're the.
No, your client is a suspect in the disappearance of Sebastian. Your client lies about what happened to Sebastian, about where they were when Sebastian went missing, the details of the night that Sebastian went missing. They can't even get that right.
Guardians that have the ability to sign. One thing I want to make clear is that I've never ever worked for a defense attorney or a prosecutor. I'm boots on the ground. I find people. I'm more search and rescue than anything. But when I work, if I was to find any, real evidence that Chris and Katie were involved, I would be the first one. I mean, I wouldn't hesitate for a second to contact TBI or whoever it may be.
What person who gets paid big money is going to turn in their client? I honestly do not think, in my opinion, he's being paid to find Sebastian. He is being paid to protect his clients.
I'm not there to play defense or anything. I'm there to find Sebastian, and if they have anything involvement, then I'll make sure they're held accountable. I don't know what happened to Sebastian. I wish I could say I'm on the verge of cracking this case. I do not know. I don't know where he is, and I don't know what happened to him. And anything is on the table. So I'm not protecting them.
All right. So that definitely leads me into where I was about to go. I just want to clarify one thing really quick, which was,
Sure.
You said Chris and Katie are the ones, so they are officially employing you. You're just not disclosing who is funding it. They signed the paperwork, is what I'm saying.
Yes, they signed the paperwork. I mean, I think, yeah, I there's no trickery there. I just don't want to get too deep into it. But yeah, I mean,
I'm just trying to make sure that we're putting out what you said in the most direct way possible.
I'm employed by them, but I consider myself working for Sebastian, and that's how my agreements are written. That I'm there working for the missing person, and this person's signing as either as their guardian or as their executor or whatever it may be, depending on their age. If they're since they don't have the ability to do it.
Right. So one thing, I mean, you may or may not be willing to answer this, but one thing that I've seen from you on social media, at least I've seen screenshots of tweets, and then I've gone and looked for a few of them to see if they're real. There's been some suggestions that you typically charge, I believe it was a $15,000 retainer fee and then $700 an hour. Is that correct?
The $15,000 minimum is correct. The $700 an hour is not correct. So everything I say gets taken seriously. So I get people.
Everything I say gets taken seriously. Isn't that the way it's supposed to be? So if you're putting out lies, how do we know it's a lie? You're the one that's putting the words out there. We should be able to take everything you say seriously. Just saying.
For instance, Bullhorn Betty. Yeah. she gives on as talks about how she follows me from case to case to case. So
okay, let's make sure we bring up Bullhorn Betty to entice the chat even more, attacking her.
So she gets on and talks about how, oh my God, how dare he charge family $2,000 and I'm like, listen, I don't charge. Don't put it out there that I charge $2,000 because then people are think I can be traveling around the country for a $2,000 retainer. I can't be doing that. I'm like, I'm much more expensive than that. And so sarcastically, like at one point, there was another guy giving me a hard time about this. And at one point I put in my bio, my rate, my hourly rate is $2 million per hour. Mm-hmm. And the guy took it literally and started sending it all around the internet. You know, it's just, so some of the stuff is like.
So if it's a lie, SF, I'm just going to make a suggestion. If you're lying, don't put it out there.
You know, it's like, you can't deal with these people anymore. And it's like,
yeah,
they're that ridiculous. I'll be that ridiculous. And you know, so no, it's not. You know, I will tell you my rates, my standard, you know, rack rates are probably average out. And I charge a daily rate. I'll just be honest with you. I don't do hourly. So I charge because it's more, you know, search based. So when I'm working on a day rate. So it's usually, you know, about $2,200 a day. And then there might be a quick, you know, it depends if we're bringing in thermal drones, underwater ROVs, because I own all that equipment. It can vary based on that too, you know. Mm-hmm. So, but we do have minimums because if I'm going across the country and bringing all this equipment and if other operators are coming in, then, you know, but with that said, about 70% of my cases are pro bono. Mm-hmm. So the money that I do bring in, I've been fortunate to work some cases where families have the ability to pay that, and then that funds some other cases, you know. So because I've never done a GoFundMe or anything like that.
Got it. But in this case, you are a paid investigator.
I am.
Okay, yeah. Got it.
Well, folks, there you go. He is a paid investigator. We got that. How much he makes, I'm lost. 15,000 retainer, 700 an hour, 2,200 a day. Yeah, I don't know. Have no clue. That was the biggest word salad of all. It was ridiculous. And let's be crystal clear here, folks. This man is being paid, representing Chris and Katie Proudfoot, the two people who have the home where Sebastian was when he disappeared. The mother who was with him last is the person he's representing. He doesn't work with law enforcement because what he finds out, he has to combat to protect his clients. That is crystal clear. Hello to everybody coming in. Thank y'all so much for being here. Appreciate y'all so much. Okay, guys, we got one more to listen to, and all of it's going to come together here in just a second. I promise. Promise. Bear with us. Hang in there. Don't let him make you too nauseous. Come on. All righty, here we go.
Disappointing, to be honest with you, because it's like, oh, they don't have, you know, anything, you know.
Right. So I guess the next logical question there would be, you've seen these camera angles, you said you had hundreds of hours of this surveillance footage.
Over
100 hours, but did any of these cameras show the exits from the Proudfoot home?
No.
Did
Wait, sorry, of that particular camera. I'm sorry. Yes. The particular camera we're talking about, the K9.
No, I'm talking about just in general, like any of the angles.
So there's a camera.
Are you confused yet on the cameras? No. Yes. Oh, wait. Seriously.
Across the street. And there's also a camera right behind them.
Right.
So I do have the now the one across the street. Those people didn't know how to export their footage, and so I sat down. So what they did is they didn't know how to export all the footage. So they went through and they like took out clips of it, and they also took some screen grabs of things they thought was important after going back and forth and or after scrubbing through all the footage, because and I sat down with them for like 2 hours. What they said was that TBI, their footage was set to overwrite after 10 days, and nobody had come and collected their footage. They're right across the street. They're right across the street. I mean, by far away, the most important camera there is by far. And they had like come and seen a couple things, but they had not taken the footage. So they went to the command center. The husband did, and he said, "Listen, take this footage, like it's going to overwrite tonight," So they finally did take it, but they also they don't have the raw footage back. So they gave me what they have, and it's a lot, and it has all the because there's, even though it's continuous rolling, it does also pick up, have detections like with the tracking and stuff like that. So anytime a car comes in up and down that road, it picks it up. Anytime their lights at the Proudfoots turn on, if they come.
Guys, just keep in mind, this guy is supposed to be a professional. Obviously, he doesn't do public speaking much because no one would be able to follow him.
Anybody comes in and out of the driveway at their place, whatever it may be, those are detected. And so I have that, and there's also a house behind.
Right.
So just to clarify really quickly, so they were able to get you the still images and the clips.
But the TBI has.
But the TBI was able to get the full footage.
TBI has the actual like not the hard drive. It was like cloud based, but yeah, they have all the masters.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And can you see the front of the Proudfoots property, like the front door?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. So
you can see the front of the Proudfoots door from the neighbor across the street's Ring camera. Okay, you can see it. He just said absolutely.
What you've seen, is there any point at which anybody appears to enter or exit the home from the footage you've seen?
Well, yeah, I mean, keep in mind, it's footage from over a couple days, so yeah, definitely.
I guess the night in question then.
That night.
What else are we talking about? We don't care about days leading up, days leading after. The most important part of this footage would be the time that Sebastian went missing. How is that not clear to this man? I don't understand that.
No. Well, they arrived home, and so I will say the one, like I said, they went through and they checked all their footage and they took out what they saw, and they captured what they saw. But what they didn't get, and what they admit they must have just missed, is when they heard that there was footage of Sebastian taking the trash out, the trash can out. That was news. They were surprised to hear that because they didn't see that. And so what the husband told me was, I was sitting with them at their dinner table. He said, he said, I didn't know if they were being real about that or not. And he's like, I went to the command center and I said, listen, I've given you all my footage and I'm just going to ask you one question. And he's like, but I really need to know this because this is my neighbor. And I just want to know for my own sanity, like, did you really see Sebastian on that footage or not? And they told him absolutely. And so I believe them, I don't think they're, and keep in mind, Seth and everybody has said that they agree. So, but I have not seen that. Just to be clear, I've not seen him taking the trash can out. There was some I can see, which is important to me, and I'm not going to get into the exact. There's going to be some things I can't say. I'm just going to tell you up front, but can't give out all the details for the integrity of the investigation. But there's times when you see, the lights go off or on and whatnot. So that's all detectable. It's a very clear shot of the house.
But so what I'm hearing though is that at the very least, the TBI should have an angle on the entrances and exits of the home for the full 100%. The full night.
They do, and they have the back of the house too.
Got it. So that's incredibly interesting to me.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, like any question about somebody entering or exiting the home,
it
should be
the TBI knows.
Answered by that. Yeah.
Oh, 100%. No, they have all that for sure. Now, I will say too that just because they have the footage that would show the front door does not mean that with the lights off in the house that you would see the front door open. It is incredibly dark in the neighborhood.
This is not a night vision camera.
No.
Got it.
No. Well, it's set to auto. It was set to auto mode, so it wasn't detecting. So what it's set up for their front porch, okay, and they have lights like planter lights on their porch. I'm talking about the house across, it's shooting from. So it's lighting for that. It's not caring really about the Proudfoot's home, right? And so we tested this. The family there was nice enough to let us into their house and overtake their system and run tests and stuff. And we just had people walking out, and the FBI did this as well too, just so you guys know. But just walk out of the house and see if we could detect it on the monitor at all, and we couldn't. It's that dark in the neighborhood.
Got it. So I guess then to be 100% sure, it sounds like from what you're saying, and would you be able to release any of that footage, any of those tests, just to put people's minds at ease about it? Be like, no, really, you can't tell. Like, even if it's just a quick video of somebody walking out of the home.
Listen, I would have to ask, and I'll just be honest, because the way that the people have just trampled over the Proudfoots, they don't owe anybody any favors, and in this, and they don't care about like winning anybody's. At this point, they truly only, whether people leave or not, they just want Sebastian found. And so I don't think they're gonna give anybody any favors like that. I'll ask, but I wouldn't count on it, to be honest with you. Very disappointing, to be honest with you, because it's like, oh, they don't have anything.
So you heard that. You heard it. Proudfoots don't owe us anything. They have no desire to prove that it was so dark at their front door that you could not have seen if Sebastian left. They have no desire for that. No desire whatsoever to prove 100% that it was dark. That camera could not have picked up Sebastian leaving. No desire. No desire whatsoever to put an end to the fact that Sebastian could have walked out of that front door and not be seen. Why? Why would they not want to do that? I mean, if it's a camera angle that captures your whole entire house, it shows your front door. And if it is so dark at night that you can't see if that door opens or closes, why would you not prove that? Welcome to everybody coming in. Appreciate y'all being here. Thank y'all so much. Now, that was just the craziest. That was just a little bit of what we sat through last night. Number one, he is not working with law enforcement. He leads us to believe he is, but he's not. His words, he's not. Number two, the man is getting paid, and his clients are Katie and Chris Proudfoot. He's not here for Sebastian. He's here because he is getting paid for Katie and Chris Proudfoot. Keep that always in your mind, because there's not a person who is going to put out anything that might make his clients look bad, because he's getting paid for that very reason. Then we have number 3. There's footage that would prove that if Sebastian walked out, you may not be able to see him. But they're not willing. They don't owe us. All the excuses they can give, they're not going to put one little snippet of that front door out. If that doesn't sound sus, I don't know what does. It's absolutely ridiculous. So I'm going to pull up here. Let me get over here as well. I've got this here. Okay. This one here. It says, all right, at SF investigates. I was being nice by not asking on the live stream, but why did you tell me that you only began being paid on November 14th of 2024, when you said yourself you were being paid as early as October? The clip below in the black square is from Gypsy Nielsen. To SF, is this how you are helping to find Sebastian? Do your clients know this is how you are investigating? Are they paying you to do this instead of looking for Sebastian? SF replies, yes, they do know. Yes, they are paying me. The date, it's 12:56 a.m. on October the 21st of 2024. So what is it? Was he being paid in October? Was he being paid in November? His words told us November. On here, he is saying, yes, I am being paid. It was October. So how are we supposed to take him serious? Now, let's go to this next one, because it all just ties in together. The Lore Lodge says, well, this is disappointing. I thought tonight's conversation was very productive and cordial. I find it disingenuous that Steve, SF Investigations, is now painting our request for evidence of the accusation that Seth groomed Katie as defending predatory behavior. That was another part that they talked about. And SF tried to make it out as if Seth was grooming Katie at a very young age. Claiming someone groomed his ex-wife as a child is very serious allegation. If you're going to say that this happened, you need to be able to provide hard evidence. Okay, here's SF's rebuttal. I'm physically ill that I actually participated in an interview with a group that is defending this predatory behavior. She was 12 when they met. Poor Sebastian. Folks, my son and my daughter-in-law were 4 years old when they met. My son did not groom her. They've known each other since they started school in pre-K. It doesn't matter. These people are idiots. That post made me so freaking mad. My daughter knew her husband when they were in the first grade. He didn't groom her. What in the heck? We have Betty did an interview with Yada, who is Katie's cousin. She tells us Katie had a boyfriend before she ever started dating Seth. And you know what? My daughter-in-law and my son, they started dating when they were in 10th grade. They broke up for a little while. They got back together and have been together all these years. The same with my daughter and my son-in-law. All these years, they've been together. Doesn't mean that they were being groomed. It's absolutely freaking ridiculous, the implications they put out there. That is nothing at all to do with Sebastian and where he could be right now. It's just to throw crap over onto Seth. They are disgusting. Yes, she was 17 when they started dating. You know, I mean, she was, 19 when she had Sebastian or something? Good God, people. It's ridiculous. They met when they were 12. Okay. They weren't together. Oh my gosh. I mean, but you know what? He's getting paid by Katie and Chris. You know, the mother of Sebastian, who does not talk to the father of Sebastian when it's their child that has gone missing. So we shouldn't be surprised at all, because the man's getting paid. He's doing his job. And ever since I heard Chris talk to Seth on web sleuthing, when they're all on panel, and he berated him, I mean, attacked Seth. The way he talked to him was that it was like he was correcting a 5-year-old child in an angry manner. Seth is a grown man. But Chris had no respect. Chris didn't care. Everyone Chris knows is below him. That's how he treats people. And that's the person who is paying SF to put shit out like what we just heard. It is absolutely ridiculous. I completely turned off the Lore Lodge at the end. And I sat there for a minute trying to decide, what did I learn from that? What did he say in that interview, that whole time on panel, that would make me say, okay, I can kind of see where they're coming from with this? Absolutely nothing. There was nothing that he said that can make me think, oh, okay, I get it. And that's what that whole thing was supposed to be. That whole panel with both of them up there started when Aiden went on Queen Bee's panel to correct the information they were putting out, because they were talking about his live or his video he did, his documentary, and talking bad things about it. From there, it escalated. And on Twitter, SF started attacking. That's where it started. That's where it went. And they are two grown men that came together to get on panel to discuss things, to try to understand the other side and how they think. You would have to speak in plain sentences for anyone to understand what SF was saying. Just like Chris Proudfoot. Have to beat around the bush, go in circles a few times just to kind of get you to where you're just maybe starting to believe it, just to get over it. It's ridiculous. Hello, reality. How are you doing, sweetie? Hi, Angie. Keep up the chatter. Mimi, Sandy. How are y'all? Welcome, welcome, and thank y'all for being here. I just hope that everyone, let's see. Bubble Bess says, all I learned was KK has had many abortions. Edgar paid for Seth to move to Tennessee. They don't have money, but they have hired him. Bingo. This mother and stepfather can't afford to put their son here into a place that's going to get him help. The stepfather couldn't, the father, with all three of them, they couldn't afford it. They couldn't afford to get that child help. But by golly, they're going to afford to pay this man all this money to protect them, to make everybody else look bad and create distractions. That is all that is happening on that side. It is ridiculous. And if I ever had any questions before, I don't have questions now. Especially when SF is going to sit there and say, the Proudfoots don't owe us anything. He doesn't think that they're going to give us the okay to see the footage from the Ring camera of their front door. The one part of the home where they say this child walked out. They're not going to get one little tiny snippet of that doorway to show when it's opened at night. You can't see it from the Ring camera because it's so dark. Because that's what he's telling us. But his clients don't owe us anything. If that's not a cover-up, I don't know what the hell is. If you want people to believe the bullshit you're putting out there, then you show them proof. And I'm not saying that, guys, we're owed everything. I'm not. But this is footage that they have. This would put a lot of stuff to rest. Oh, Julie, thank you for that. How sweet. She says, thank you, Lolly, for putting some of SF's disaster in perspective, and thanks whoever seemed to edit out all this. Yes, that was hindsight 2002. We need to make sure to drop her link. And thank you for that, Jilly. That is so sweet. Yes. And in the description of this video is definitely her channel link. If you have not subbed up, please go sub up. Amazing work she puts out. So, well, hello, The Scoop with Barb. How are you? Welcome, welcome. Yes, it was hindsight. She does amazing work. Yes. But guys, the door, the front door is the process of elimination that Katie went through to decide that's the door he went out of. Now, this is a child who she's saying went out the front door. And he locked it behind him because he knows how to lock it. But he couldn't remember to put on his shoes, a jacket, take a phone, any of that stuff. None of that stuff. But he can remember to lock the door after he goes out the door, barefooted, and just a pair of pants, a shirt. That doesn't even make sense. So prove to us that we can actually not see anything. He could have snuck out and not been noticed at all. Spirit 8, hey, welcome to the Lollipops. Thank you for becoming a member. Let's
just start.
Good deal. I'll be there just a second, okay?
You good?
Let's play a little Welcome to the South. And welcome, Spirit 8.
Welcome. Welcome to the South. We break that good stuff out. We got enough to go around. You can't get it right and get down. Welcome to the South.
Welcome, welcome. I wanted to do the lollipop, lollipop, oh, lolly, lollipop. But I'd get a copyright strike on that for sure. But welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining us. But yeah, there's evidence that can prove their point of how dark it is. Look, Lori says, oh my gosh, it's snowing on the beach here in Pensacola, Florida. I have not seen snow for 8 years since I moved here from Michigan. Enjoy it, Lori. How awesome. Yes, Gracie. I had said that last night. SF is nothing but an ambulance chaser. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. I'm so glad you said that too. It's only an illusion. Yeah. Yay. Well, guys, I just can't with the information we were given last night. It was just completely insane. It was completely insane. It was useless. Although we did realize and get confirmation that Stephen Fisher is not working with law enforcement at all. We did get confirmation that he is being paid by someone, and Katie and Chris are on the retainer fee, the contract. We did get confirmation that they have things that sound like they would prove our side right, but they're not going to let us see it. That's what I took. Because if you have just a tiny bit of footage, even if it wasn't from that day, show us a little bit of footage from the days before or after, because you just sat there and told us, SF, that there's footage prior and after the day of. So show us one of those where it's nighttime and somebody comes out of the door. But they don't know us that. It's another way from, as far as I'm concerned, my opinion, it's another way to hide the truth. Oh, thank you, Mary. I'm excited about my channel growing. Yes, I am so proud. And it's because of all you guys. Thank y'all so much. Y'all show up and you listen and you interact and chat, and together We keep it real. We have integrity. We have class. And that's the way it should always be. YouTube should not be about drama or, calling people out or something. It's not what we're going to do. Oh, good, Jilly. We like you being here. But yeah, thanks, Mary. Thanks, Canadian Cookie. Appreciate you. Yeah, so insanely crazy. But I do appreciate hindsight for the work that was done with those videos, because those were the 3 things that I wanted to bring out the most. Those 3 things. There's a lot of misinformation being put out there. And, oh, thank you, Bo. But we don't want to be a part of the misinformation. We want to be a channel that we can talk and discuss things, work it out, figure it out. What's the best route to go with it? Oh, Lily, welcome. Thank you. So glad to have you. Yes, Mary. I was fixing to take the time to go back and rewatch that whole thing so I can screen record exactly those 3 things. And then I saw where she was putting them out, and I was like, oh, bless her. So yes, if you have not gone to Hindsight 2002, definitely go check out her channel. She puts out a lot of good stuff. Reality. Well, bless your heart. It's like, yeah, there's sometimes not a lot of common sense out there, is there? It's crazy. Crazy. And little pieces that were being sent to me this morning that I was listening to from the other side. Oh, and it started last night because there was a channel that was actually reading the transcripts from the chat for the whole show because they wanted to know who all was saying what. And they honestly believed that Seth was in chat last night and he must have been under his gamer tag name. Seth said he went in, he felt like he was going to puke, and he got off. People got to understand everything that's being said about his son affects him. It either brings things back to the surface of his fear of what could be. It makes him angry to hear things that are so negative and against him. I mean, these people are playing with his life. They've already put out all his whole work record stuff. They put out his driver's license and his social security card. They've put out his address and his phone number that were on documents. Sure, they might be legal, void, or whatever, but have a little respect. Have some dignity and mark out personal information that people don't need to have. Oh, Reality, I'm so sorry. I had a horrible headache last night as well. It got worse as the night went on. I ended up wrapping my head in a heating pad. Ugh. Yeah. This is the stuff they do instead of cleaning their toilets. Yeah. Bubble Beth, I'm the same. I don't watch a lot of channels anymore. I just have better things to do with my life than to listen to people just flap their gums. Yeah. They're trying to destroy him. Yes. all because Katie and Chris spoke out and made themselves look guilty. We didn't do anything to make them look guilty. They did it to themselves. Their words, their actions, their excuses made themselves look guilty. Oh, bless you, reality. I'll be praying for you. And you might try what I've learned that helps me some. I get a heating pad and I will wrap my entire head around the heating pad and just lay there. I'll just have enough space to where I can get some air, and that's it. Maybe that might help you too. Oh, goodness. Wait, what? Yeah, lots of people were. Yeah, I watched the Ohio State and Notre Dame. Man, Notre Dame did good coming back, though, didn't they? See, Randa, I'm not sure about how that works, but it was like almost before he was through with his live, they were live reading it all. So, I don't know. Oh, goodness, Jilly. I have two. I had so many bad headaches there for a while. I kept one every which way I go. Okay, so Justin said that any creator can get any creator's chat. Okay, I wasn't sure. I don't know about it. I've never had a reason to want to look into that. Oh, Nani, here we go. This is perfect. I came on YouTube to learn about cases, discuss them, and yes, break them down and try to develop theories. I don't come on YouTube to hear people getting dragged and talked about like they're lower than dirt. Very well put, Nani. Very well put. Thank you for that. Because I'll be honest with everybody here. If I was to start talking crap about people, if I was to start blasting all their personal info, if I was to call them out for what I see, I would probably have thousands more people subbed up to my channel. I would probably make a heck of a lot more money. But it's not worth it. Not for me. That's not what I want. That's not what I started out to be. And I promised myself, I have asked my friends, please don't let me ever turn out to be that way. Because it's not worth it. I'm not here to play God. I'm not here to judge anybody. If anybody wants to buy whatever the heck they want to buy, that is their deal, their problem, their life, whatever. It has nothing to do with me. None. And I'm not going to be that channel. I'm not going to do anything, say anything to insinuate or try to make someone look bad. Now, if I read their words, we listen to their chat, we hear what they say, and they make themselves look bad, that's on them. We're just calling that out. And it has to pertain to this missing child. Because, guys, Sebastian is what matters here. We're talking about Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. That's what we're talking about. That's who it's about. It's not about, the exact amount that SF gets paid. I don't give a crap. He's getting paid. And he's getting paid by Katie and Chris. That's all I never, ever needed to find out. Because that proves a point. He is protecting his clients. They are his clients. He's not here for Sebastian. He's not here to find Sebastian. He's here to dispute any account at all whatsoever that Katie and Chris would have anything to do with it. He's here to not put out the video recording of their front door. The video recording that could show, hey, it is really dark. You really can't tell if Sebastian would have walked out that door that night. But it makes me wonder, would it actually prove if he did walk out? Ziva, no. Sorry. But I just wonder, could you actually see the front door open and close? And it actually proves that he did not walk out that front door? Is that the real reason we're not getting to see the footage? Not because Katie and Chris don't owe us anything. Because my thought process is, if that's what it shows, is that it's so dark you couldn't tell, they would be putting it out to prove a point. But, you know, they don't owe us nothing. So I'm going to assume that video probably showed the front door open and close at night. That's what I'm going to assume. So, guys, we're just going to have to muddle our way through all of it. Oh my gosh, Ash Cash. Circles and circles and more. It was making me nauseous. It really was. They all said it didn't. Yeah. See, that's the thing. They say it, but when asked, they're not going to show it. One of Beasley that says, I drank wine the first time in 5 years last night. Oh, God. Yeah, he'll drive you to drinking, I guess. Yeah. That's funny. I was just like, is he answering any questions? Is he trying to distract people? Let's see. Cher said, if he walked out, someone told him to. In my opinion, did he have a plan with someone so he would leave at a certain time? Did someone tell him, like, go look for a dog or something so he'd be outside? Very well could be, Cher. Very well could be. There is so much to this that who knows? I was going to take a shot each time he said, or lied. Oh, yeah, that would not have been good for you. Oh, well, speaking of Cher, guys, tonight over on her channel at 7:00 Central, she's going to be doing a live about Summer Wells. I'll be over there. She has some really great information, and it's going to be a very good live. This is one that we were going to try to get done earlier, a couple of weeks back, but it didn't work out. So tonight at 7:00, y'all come over and watch. I will put her link in chat. If you haven't subbed up to her, make sure you do. Hit that bell anytime you sub up to anyone, and hit all so that you get all the notifications. And think about those plays. She says, And the thing about those places that take teens, I've been to a couple places myself, they take you in the middle of the night or wee morning hours. It's very military in that way. Yeah. Yes, she always does have good information. Those places that take troubled teens, yeah. You know, I honestly would think, and this is just my opinion, knowing that Sebastian is autistic, that's a whole bundle of issues in itself. But to have patience and to learn about autism, to learn what's going to work for him and not work for him, it would be a learning process for both the parent and the child. But I just don't think that understanding or patience was in his home. I just really don't. And it's sad because we have a father who absolutely is tore up and is heartbroken. And he wants his son home. And we have a mother and a stepfather who've hired someone to make them look okay, I guess you could say, because he's not doing anything to find Sebastian. Yeah. Yeah, if they did that, then why can't they say it, And everybody's saying, now, well, why would they do something to him if Seth was fixing to take him? I mean, that makes me wonder if it might not have been something last minute. I don't know. Don't know. So many questions just keep hanging there. So many things that we think should be important enough to have them questioned and to possibly have charges. Surely law enforcement knows if there's 5 CPS cases. Surely law enforcement would know that the timing of his disappearance, the 5 CPS reports, they would definitely look at Chris in a way that is very sus. But instead, we know they let him ride around with them in the cop car while they're out on patrol looking for Sebastian, getting information. That's the last thing that should ever happen. But it did. They didn't take Seth for a ride. They only took Chris. Yes, SF is paid for by suspects. That's it. I mean, that sentence right there. You cannot trust a person because he's not doing anything to find Sebastian. He's just protecting his clients. That's it. End of story. And it was very obvious listening to him last night that he was there to protect his clients. And to say that we're not owed that footage would be huge to everyone. It would help everyone to understand what the vision would be of that front door at nighttime. But I honestly believe, since that's not going to be put out, that it just goes to prove there's something there. There's footage that you can see the door open and close, or someone moving around in that area. So, anyways, guys, well, I'm going to let y'all get going. I know Justin's got a live he's fixing to get going with, and then y'all head over to Cher's channel. I will share that live on my community post, so you can just click it and go hit the notifications. So we will see you there. Oh, I bet you have, Cher. Oh, exactly. It's obvious who means well and who doesn't. Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's so many questions, guys. Let's see. Me and Spirit Seeker Squad and Justin and Tammy and Mark will be on panel with Cher. So y'all come and join us. And let's talk about little Summer for a while, because she deserves it too. So, okie dokie, friends. Well, everybody stay super warm. Snuggle up. Hang in there. And then we'll see y'all again tomorrow. Same time. We're going to try to stay around 3:30. Welcome, She Fell in Love. Thank you for being here with us. Welcome, welcome. So we'll see you all tomorrow. Maybe tonight over at Cher's. Yep. See y'all in 3 hours. So y'all be good. Love and hugs, everybody. Bye.